Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by and welcome to the Creating Healthier Communities Native American Nursing Students Experiences and the Role of Mentoring conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker presentation, there will be a question-and-answer session. To ask a question during the session, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. Please be advised that today's conference is being recorded. If you require any further assistance, please press star 0. I would now like to hand the conference over to your speaker today, the Director of Advocacy and Consumer Affairs at the Center to Champion Nursing in America, Dr. Winifred Green. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Don. Hi, everybody, and good afternoon and welcome. Good morning to some of you who are on the West Coast or farther west. And thank you for taking the time to join us for today's webinar. This is part of a series of highlighting members of the Future of Nursing Campaign for Action's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Steering Committee and features the work of the National Alaska Native American Indian Nursing Association, otherwise known as NANA-INA. NANA-INA is an important member of our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Steering Committee. It was founded in 1993 with the mission of uniting American Indian and Alaska Native nurses and others who care for American Indian and Alaska Native people to improve the health and well-being of the people. Before we go further, I do want to mention we are recording today's webinar. So if you miss a section or would like to pass it on to a colleague or a fellow student, which we highly encourage you to do, you can find the recording by going to www.campaignforaction.org/webinars. I do want to mention that the biographies of today's presenters will be available on the website with the recording that at the address that I just mentioned. For our webinar today, we hope that you will be able to understand Native American nursing students' experience preparing for and being accepted to nursing school, recognize the challenges and barriers to nursing program completion for Native American students, understand the influences and factors that have contributed to Native American student success, describe the role and impact that mentoring has played in the nursing students' education, and identify recommendations for future efforts to support Native American nursing students' success. Now I am very happy to introduce the current president of NANA-INA, Sandra Littlejohn. Sandra is the Administrative Director at the Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders with Gunderson Health System. And I'll let her finish introducing herself. But Sandy, it's always a pleasure to work with you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Wynn. Hello to all, and welcome to everyone joining in today's webinar. As Wynn noted, my name is Sandy Littlejohn, and I'm the current president of the National Alaska Native American Indian Nursing Association, which we abbreviate to NANA-INA, a little easier for us to say. I'm an enrolled member of the Mdewakanton Dakota of Lower Sioux Community in Morton, Minnesota, and very happy to be here with you today. NANA-INA has been a partner in recent years with the AARP and the Future of Nursing Campaign for Action's Native American Nursing Learning Collaborative to sponsor this series of webinars on Native American nursing. As described on the campaign's 2019 website, these webinars are a first attempt to address important topics to improve the well-being of Native communities and address health inequities through nursing. We know true health begins with respect for the values within the Native community, and well-being and equity must involve the leadership and involvement of those in the community who hold that knowledge and wisdom. This collaborative webinar approach reflects the concept of cultural humility, which includes self-reflection and a commitment to lifelong learning. On behalf of Nana Ina, it is an honor to be a part of this webinar series. I would like to now welcome Dr. Regina Eddy, who will get us started on today's presentation.
Thank you, Sandy, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon as well. I am originally from Arizona and an enrolled member of the Diné Nation, Navajo Nation, and assistant professor here at Northern Arizona University. So as part of today's webinar, I think it's important to provide some context related to Native Americans and higher education. The next slide, Scott, please. So first and foremost, I think it's important to highlight here is the underrepresentation of Native Americans in higher education, with less than 1% of the college student population are Native Americans. I think if we are going to increase Native American college students and their success, it's also important for us to understand the challenges they face. Many Native American students, some of the challenges that they encounter, the lack of role models, feelings of isolation, discrimination on campuses, cultural differences, and then many are also first-generation students. And then students also trying to hold jobs while they're in school full-time. And then lack of academic financial resources. So with this background, I think it's important to introduce here, and with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Missy Wilkie. So she's an associate professor at Bemidji State University, who will share with us of her efforts in growing our own, by that meaning our own Native American students into nursing, and then along with several of her Native American students. So Dr. Wilkie, thank you.
Miigwech Dr. Eddy, Buju Indinawe Maganadog, Misty Wilkie Indijnakas, Makwa Indudum, Mikanak Ogadaki Indunjaba, Migadan Zaga Igan Inda Nungam, Miigwech Bizan Dawiye. So I introduced myself in Ojibwe, saying hello to all of my relatives. My name is Misty Wilkie. I am from the Bear Clan. My tribe is Turtle Mountain, and today I live in Battle Lake. And I want to thank you for listening and participating today. And I want to especially thank my students for giving up valuable homework and study time to share their experiences with us today. Next slide, Scott. So I just want to start out by talking a little bit about the creation of Niganawayni Mananig. So we received one of the Nursing Workforce Diversity Grants in 2017 from HRSA. It is a 4-year, $2 million project. Excuse me. Our focus was to recruit, retain, graduate, and license baccalaureate-prepared Indigenous nurses. We came up with a name, Niganawayni Mananig, which is an Ojibwe word that means we take care of them. So we really wanted a name that embodied the holistic support services that we would be providing to students, and to also let their loved ones know that they were in good hands, that we were going to do what we could to take good care of them while they are students at Bemidji State. I'm going to have you switch to the next slide, please. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about our logo. We came up with this logo for a few different reasons. So the color scheme with the red and orange coincides with the American Indian Resource Center logo at Bemidji State because we work very closely and collaborate with them frequently in providing services to our students. We wanted to show that relationship between our program and the American Indian Resource Center. The bear is a medicine animal, provides medicine to the people, so we wanted to incorporate that, as well as it being a powerful animal. Many of our Ojibwe people come from the Bear Clan, so that was another part of the significance of including that. On the bottom, you can't really see, but those are rocks that the bear is standing on, and those are significant, as spirits as well as for our ceremonies. And then you can see the medicine within the bear. So our hope with the services that we provide in graduating these students is that they will be the medicine for their patients, and they'll carry that on in their nursing profession. So to talk a little bit about how we came up with these support services that are offered through Nagunawayni-Mananig, I used a lot of my own personal positive and negative experiences to help shape the support and services that we provide through our program. So each of our supports address the challenges that Dr. Eddy described. So I'm just going to briefly run through some examples of what we provide for each of these 4 areas. And one of the things that I want to guide your attention to is many of the things that we have within our program come in a series of 4, and it's of no coincidence. 4 is the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, 4 stages of life, and so the financial, academic, cultural, and social component fit within our logic model, which is a medicine wheel. So for the financial assistance, we provide tuition assistance and monthly stipends to our students once they are admitted to the nursing program. So we have students that are both in the 4-year pre-licensure program as well as the RN to BS. For academic support, we offer tutoring both within Nagunawayni-Mananig, within our department, and within the university. So students from freshmen in pre-nursing courses to those that are seniors have multiple tutors available to them. We also help facilitate or coordinate study groups within each cohort and encourage those study sessions for those that are wanting to achieve higher academic scores or that just need additional study opportunities. The cultural support we provide, as I said, we do a lot of collaboration with the American Indian Resource Center, encouraging our students to attend the activities that the AIRC sponsors, as well as other departments within the university and community organizations. For the social support, we require students to participate in weekly mentor meetings. We have a full-time student mentor, and that position is to provide 100% student support. So addressing academic concerns, personal concerns, any potential barriers that might impede the success of the student, and providing references and resources to help counteract some of those barriers before they become real issues. We also connect the students with American Indian faculty and staff as well as other Indigenous nursing students. So our goal is to really get these students connected to campus. We also have a student lounge for our Indigenous nursing students. So this is a place for them to hang out during the day and between classes. We provide snacks for them. So it's really a home away from home. All of the artwork within the lounge is Indigenous focused, so they always have those reminders and a piece of their culture surrounding them. So, these things that we provide in getting them connected to campus, really the ultimate goal is to help them feel like they belong on campus. That's what our goal is in providing this social support as well as the financial, academic, and cultural support. All right, so that is a brief overview of the services that we provide. So next we will move on to the questions and let our students share their experiences. So if you want to each introduce yourselves and let the audience hear a little bit more about yourselves, please. And we'll start with you, Terry.
Hi, my name is Terry Defoe, and I work for the Boys Fort Band of Chippewa on the Lake Vermilion side of the reservation. I've been an RN since 2008. I graduated from Hibbing Community College in Minnesota, and I've worked for my reservation now in community health for 3 years. And I'm a senior at the RN to the BSN program at Bemidji State.
Alexa?
I'm Alexa Burnell. I'm from the White Earth Band of Ojibwe. I'm a 4-year BSN nursing student here at Bemidji State University. I'm a junior, and I currently live on Leech Lake Reservation.
Thank you. Jackie?
Yep. Hi, I'm Jackie Allen. I'm Dakota from the Flandreau Santee Sioux tribe in Flandreau, South Dakota. Here on campus, I hold the vice president role for the Council of Indian Students, and I'm also the sophomore representative for the Student Nurses Association, as well as I just got my acceptance letter about a month ago for the nursing program.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today, and we are going to get to the next question. So can you tell us what inspired you to become a nurse, or who or what helped you get into the nursing program?
This is Terry. We'll just go in the same order, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I've always been interested in the medical field. One of my uncles was like a medic in the Army, and I've seen him stitch up my sister with like butterfly stitches one time, and so it's always been I've always been interested in that. But what really pushed me in that direction was I was an EMT for the Boys Fort ambulance, and I just really had a knack for it. So the EMT instructor just said, you know, you're very proficient at this. Have you considered going in further along into any medical field? And I became a community health representative and worked under a Native nurse, and she really encouraged me to just pursue my nursing degree. So I took it step by step, and just had a lot of inspiration from other Natives that were in the field already. So, and just was always encouraged that was a good goal, and that we needed more Native people to serve our own people. So that's me.
Okay, thank you. Alexa, what inspired you to become a nurse?
Well, growing up on the reservation, I've seen there's not only a disparity in nurses, but also Native nurses. So that really kind of motivated me, and I've always wanted to give back to my community. And I figured that this would be a good gateway for me to get started, and just I've always had an interest in the healthcare field, so I thought that was a really good way for me to make a difference for my community.
Excellent. What about you, Jackie? What inspired you to become a nurse?
Probably from a really young age. I always knew that I needed specifically more Native American nurses at my Indian healthcare service, just because there wasn't there wasn't anyone that was Native American that works at our Indian Healthcare Service. And one person that really motivated me was my mom. She has her BSN as well. But after I was born, she's no longer a practicing nurse, but she still motivates me to complete my BSN and to just, kind of keep on pushing through it, even though it gets hard. It'll be worth it in the end.
Definitely. So next question is how or what, I think that's supposed to be who or what helped you get into nursing school. So Terry, if you want to describe your ADN application process and then your RN to BS, please.
So I had a liberal arts degree from a local college. And then once I knew after my EMT that I wanted to pursue nursing, I just started picking off, courses that I knew that were needed to go to the Hibbing, the associate degree. So like microbiology, the psychology, and so that I applied to those. I applied to the degree like 2 years because there was a wait list. So I applied to the degree like 2 years before I wanted to get in, and then completed my prerequisite coursework so that when I got accepted into the RN program, that's the only courses that I needed were the RN programs because I just knew it would be too much work to do. I don't know, it was going to be like 16 or 18 credits or, that was just too many credits for me. And then I was also working like 30 hours a week as the ambulance director. So I picked off my courses a little at a time, and then I applied for the degree, with full intent that I was going to go in 2 years' time. And so everything worked out just great. Everything fell into place. And then we had a minority services program at the Hibbing Community College. And they really helped with everything that I had done. And then, so then all the coursework that I had to do was my associate degree in nursing. So I had a good plan going into it, but I did have guidance from like the people that I knew in my community and the other Native nurse that, was encouraging me this whole time to go on to school. And so for me, I felt like it was a good fit. And then I also had a mentor from the College of St. Scholastica in Duluth, Minnesota. It was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a HRSA grant. And she would come and meet me at the Hibbing College. It was just because they didn't have enough nursing students in their program. So I had received a mentor through that as well. So, and I did 2 years of the ADN and graduated in 1998.
Okay, and how was your application process to the RN to BS program?
I kind of ended up going unexpectedly because they were recruiting people to be on like the board of directors or, and so I attended a meeting, like a pre-meeting or whatever, and then some of the faculty at BSU asked me if I was interested in going on for my BSN. And so I applied and got accepted to BSU through encouragement of the faculty at BSU. So it was pretty straightforward. I had tried like 2 times before to get like St. Scholastica and BSU, and I just had some personal issues and family issues that came up each time that I had really struggled with, and I had to like withdraw 2 times prior to this application or to this time in attending college. So this is my 3rd time attempting my RN to BSN, and it's going really well this time.
Yes, obviously you're set to graduate. So the moral of the story is when you sign up to be on an advisory board, you might end up going back to school.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Alexa, can you tell us about your experience of who or what helped you get into nursing school?
I would say the Nagano-Winnie Monanig program has definitely, it made it more of a reality for me with all of the help with the stipends and the tuition. It just made me feel more comfortable with, not knowing what I'm stepping into and with nursing, and it just made me feel like I could be more at home and relieve a little bit of the stressors that I had in my life, and it definitely has helped me get along in nursing school way better.
That's great. Jackie, can you tell us about your experience, please?
So probably what helped me the most, just getting into nursing school, was having a strong support system here on campus. Just because I'm 7 hours away from home, and especially last year I was super homesick, and I had never really been away from home for that long. So just making that adjustment of being away from my parents, and especially being away from my nephew. As you guys saw in the last slide, he was the baby with the spoon in his hand, and he was digging away on some ice cream in that picture. But he is really my motivation to get through nursing school, and just knowing that I'm doing this for him, and also for, in the other picture you guys can see, that's the Student Advisory Council that I helped co-found back home. And really they are the ones helping me get nursing with the Nagano-Winnie Monanig program, and having other sophomores that I can just talk to and rant to about classes and about grades, and just talk to about anything. And then, also having Misty and Matt in my corner if I ever need help with anything, if it's, from an assignment that I think was graded wrong to just going in there and talking to a professor about my grades. And, just also having Matt here on campus, if I ever need anything, I can go in there and talk to him, and he'll always help me through anything that I have. If it's a problem with financial aid, which I had a lot of problems with this semester, he'll always help me work through it.
Okay, thank you. So just to clarify for the audience, Matt is our full-time student mentor that I mentioned as part of the social support system. So one of the common things I heard each of you describe was the importance of that support system and finding people to help navigate the application to get into nursing school. So I'm glad you were each able to find that in your journey. So the next question I have is, what have been some of your challenges in nursing school?
So for me, I think and Jackie hit the nail on the head, is not wanting to leave where you're from. And so when I went to the associate degree program at Himming, I drove 500 miles a week to go to class every day. And, of course, it's Minnesota, so it's a lot of snow, a lot of icy roads, and I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning and drive an hour to go to my clinicals and stuff and then drive home every day. So, because I didn't want to move from where I'm from, I just felt really connected to my community, and the support that I received from there. It just seemed like to me it was a good fit. It didn't bother me to drive that far. And everybody goes, "Wow, you drive so far to school." Well, yeah, because I don't want to leave, my support system. So that was always a challenge. And then, of course, I had kids at the time. They were young. And then just struggling through that, those issues of being a mom and then working and then going to school full time. But I also felt that, I really didn't understand until recently, like if you have issues personal issues or issues with your family, your kids, health issues, the importance of going to your instructors right away and communicating with them that, hey, can I get an extension? I always just felt that it was so rigid that, I didn't hand it in, so I just missed out on the assignment. And so just understanding that the system isn't meant for you to fail, that everybody wants to see you succeed, and that, these aren't the gatekeepers. The measure of their success is measured in their student success. So just coming to the understanding and the realization that, your instructors want you to be successful. They don't want to see you do bad. So and communicating with them, for everything, all your needs, all the issues that you're having. And if you're struggling, they're really there to support you. And, that understanding that they're going to be there for you, as opposed to in high school when you do bad, they come down on you. But in college, when you're struggling, they support you, So I guess that was one of the challenges for school for me. And then just realizing that communication is the best form for everything, and then learning how to talk, like I always say, you go from your res dialect, or the reservation, how you speak to people on the reservation, to having to speak with professionals outside of where your norm. So, and then learning that communication style, that was one of the things for me. I think I did okay. No, I learned pretty good now.
Very good. Yes, you bring up some excellent points about the communication with faculty, and I liked how you also touched on kind of navigating between the white world and the reservation world, which many of our students have to deal with on a regular basis. Things that are socially acceptable on the reservation might not be in the educational setting. So just recognizing those differences and making the adjustments in communication. So thank you, Terry, for sharing your experiences. Alexa, what have been some of your challenges in nursing school?
It's been, some of them would be finding a balance between your social life and also trying to study for tests while also working. And you have to realize that sometimes you have to make sacrifices, not being able to hang out with your family or your friends as much as you want to, because, you have to set aside certain times to study or prepare for a test. So that's been difficult, is trying to find that balance. Also, I felt very unprepared just coming into nursing school or college in general, just because I just felt like I wasn't prepared and I wasn't sure what I was going into, and it was just a lot of anxiety for me just coming into college in general. And also in nursing school, they set a high bar for you, and you have to meet those standards. So it's just trying to meet those standards that they expect of you, and you have to do well. And it's tough, but you realize that it's all for good reasons. And I'm improving on trying to make these challenges better for me. So, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I liked how you addressed the issue of balance. I think a lot of our students struggle with that, as well as feeling inadequately prepared academically. If students are coming from a tribal high school, this is often a reality that they aren't prepared to make that transition to college. So I'm glad you have learned those things and are constantly making adjustments to improve. That's great to hear. Jackie, can you tell us what some of your challenges in nursing school have been so far?
I know I'm pretty fresh. I haven't really had any nursing courses yet, but probably one of the biggest challenges is just being so far away and being Dakota in Ojibwe territory. That was kind of intimidating when I first moved up here, but it's just like home. It really is. There's no really big difference if you're Dakota versus Ojibwe or Dene. We're really all the same. And just from being so far away, probably one of the biggest challenges is knowing when to go home. Like, do I go home for Thanksgiving or do I go home for Christmas? Just because the money and the time, it's really hard just to keep up with that. And then also one of my challenges last year, being my first year in college and away from everyone that I know, just going in and talking to my professors when I had issues, like on an assignment or going over something that I really didn't understand in the first place. So this year I'm definitely better on it. But like I said, Matt, he motivates me just to go in there and just go in there and talk to my professors to understand that I know the material instead of struggling, trying to keep up, and then when final comes around, I don't know how to do the information.
Okay. I liked that you addressed that it feels just like home. That is definitely one of our goals, to make students feel like it's familiar and people care about them. I was also happy to hear you say that, there isn't any students aren't treated different for their tribal affiliation. We're all the same. I think one of the things that is consistent no matter what tribal affiliation is the humor that we use and the teasing. And I think that's what helps it feel more like home. I also like that you and Terry each address the communication with professors. That is something the student mentor works with students on, is developing that level of comfort to go to the instructor to either ask for help, ask for clarification, ask for an extension, because we know those conversations can be difficult, and sometimes they're seen as disrespectful when you approach a faculty. So that is something we try to teach students as soon as they get into the program, is learning how to communicate with faculty so they become comfortable with that. And then, if they need further advocacy, we're happy to step in and help with that as well. So thank you for sharing your challenges in nursing school. So let's move on to what has helped you be successful in nursing school.
For me, just being able to talk with someone about my problems, the issues, concerns, and that they understand where Native American students are coming from. Like, they have an understanding of what their cultural norms are, what, like we're quiet, we might not look people in the eye. Like, personally, if you know me, I seem pretty bold and outgoing, but given circumstances that I'm not very familiar with, I'll be the shy one. I won't want to approach people. I'll just be quiet if I don't understand something, because I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'll just be quiet. And so having someone to say, hey, you know, we're all coming from different backgrounds, so if it's okay for you to go talk with someone, and then kind of bridging the gap between what my personal priorities are and my cultural priorities, and then knowing my goals that I have and professional goals, and with a non-Native culture. So, like, meeting in the middle somewhere, and then just helping someone that will help me negotiate that territory that, you know, I'm not so familiar with. Like, I know a lot of people, and I have a lot of friends that aren't Native, and they've all been a blessing. And having them encourage me to be more open about the things that I don't understand, and that it's okay if I don't understand those things, and it's not like it's not a weakness to not understand something. So, and then to know that Natives are prideful kind of, and you know, that they're very proud of the stuff that they do know, and it's very hard sometimes for them to express that they don't know something. So someone that's just tactful and understanding of, like, where we're coming from, and helping us and encouraging us, and to achieve our goals, you know, our professional goals. So that's really the mentoring that I've received through for my first degree, for my associate degree. They really helped me negotiate all the stuff that I'm not very, very good with. And then now this last time, or through BSU here, the mentor's been I don't think I wouldn't be successful without the mentor, you know, to be honest. So that's really helped me this time be successful.
Thank you. You brought up some good qualities that Indigenous people often have, with the pride of the culture, as well as the humility and asking for help, and the Indigenous knowledge that they hold. So thank you for that. Alexa, can you tell us what has helped you be successful in nursing school so far?
Definitely my family has been a big supporter, always encouraging me to just do my best and, you know, not give up. And also the program has definitely helped me a lot too. And going off of what Terry was talking about, just being able to talk to other Native nursing students, and that we have similar challenges and we all come from similar backgrounds, it just gives you a sense of hope, you know, that, well, they're going through the same thing I am, and, you know, we have each other. And just the encouragement I get from the other students, and plus the mentor, has really helped me. And also the weekly tutoring sessions have also been really helpful. It makes me responsible for knowing if I don't know a subject too well, or I'm lacking in some areas, and just getting that extra help with students who have taken that same course. So it just makes it easier into helping me take tests, and also yeah, just the mentor has been a great help, whether it be finding resources that I would need help with or otherwise just venting, about things that are going on or things that are going good. So it's been really helpful.
Awesome. I love that you addressed the connection that you have with other students. I am happy to hear that the cohorts that have developed within Naganawini-Monanig are one of the things that you find most useful. Having people that come from the same background as you and maybe are a year or two ahead of you in the program can, provide that be that source of motivation and provide that encouragement, I think is really awesome to hear. Jackie, can you tell us what's helped you be successful so far in school? I know you're not in the crux of the nursing program yet, but you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there next semester. So probably it's just my chosen family here on campus that they've really all helped me become successful. I know that I believe there's about 10 or so of us sophomores, and we've all stuck together pretty close, and if we had any problems or any questions in our prerequisite courses for the nursing program, there was just so many of us that if one person didn't know the answer, the next person would, and so we would kind of bounce ideas off of each other and, just hold each other accountable for our coursework and everything. Sorry about that. But, yeah, just having the people that I've met in Naganawini-Monanig, they've really helped me be successful.
So you addressed our 10 sophomores. So for the audience, our sophomore class was the largest we've had to date. We had 10 students apply for the program, and 6 of them were admitted. But what they did during their freshman year was just astounding to see. They created their own cohort. They were a major support system for each other, watching them develop and form their own study groups and, like Jackie said, keeping each other accountable and getting those study sessions in and assignments done. It was really awesome to see these relationships build and for them to be so close as a cohort without any prompting or encouraging from the staff. This was something that they developed all on their own. And I would like to think a lot of that can be attributed to that student lounge space where many of them hung out and really got to know each other. So thank you, Jackie, for addressing that. The next question is, tell us about a mentor in your life and how this person has supported your education and overall goals.
So, well, I'm fortunate to have more than one mentor. But what's helped, let me see. So what's made me successful this time around is that it's been someone that I could go to and listen, and they've helped me come up with my own solution rather than just saying, oh, I think you should do this, or it's probably best if you did this. That instead of just giving me advice and saying, you can do it this way, or that they've taken the time to listen to me, and then they've guided me. And when I couldn't see a solution, they would offer suggestions or make me dig deeper. And so that I really felt like I owned my own solution. So they empowered me, encouraged me, gave me emotional support, and then also validated my feelings. I felt that situations or issues were overwhelming, or like if I just thought I was being dramatic, or if I thought like overwhelmed, or like just feeling like, geez, I think I'm just full of drama, and they'd be like, no, that's a big deal. Like you should feel overwhelmed with this, so just being validated. And then having someone be there for you to say, well, okay. And then if I did need a touch of reality, they'd be like, well, that might be a little overboard, or, but always just someone there to be honest and just make you aware of the things all the successes that you're having, and that, yes, there's going to be such, some setbacks or some things that aren't always rosy, and that these things are going to happen 10 years from now. They're going to happen tomorrow, or they're going to happen next week. And, like say someone was sick in the hospital, or there was a death in your family, and just making it, that's just part of everyday reality. That's not going to go away. So whether you're going to college or whether you're have a job, these things are going to affect your life every day. And so having someone to be able to go to, while you're going to school has been such a great source of support for me. And just being there for me has been absolutely amazing for my success at this time. So our mentor, Matt, that's in the program, has been absolutely, I'm so thankful and appreciative of his services that he's provided, because it's really helped me. It's helped me so much be successful this time.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Alexa, can you tell us a little bit about a mentor in your life and how this person has supported your education and overall goals?
Well, I would have to say it's you, Misty, that has been a very important mentor in my life. You've always encouraged me to just keep going, even when I felt like I doubted myself, or I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't smart enough. You always just encouraged me and made sure that I had all the resources that I needed to be successful, and also keeping me accountable for my grades and, things that I could do better, things that I could work on. And it's very much appreciated, because it has definitely helped me become a better nursing student. And also just checking in on me, not only academically, but emotionally, just asking how things are going in life, and that helps a lot too. And also a big shout out to you would be when my sophomore year, I never had a planner, and I thought I could go without a planner and just write some sticky notes, I'd be fine. No, that did not work. I ended up missing quite a bit of assignments because I forgot about them. So now this year, I finally bought a planner, because that's what Misty suggested, that you need a planner. And I can proudly say that I have not missed an assignment yet. So I thank you a lot for that one, Misty.
Oh, I should have made you give me your answers before we did this, so thank you for that. One of my goals as an Indigenous nurse is to be a mentor for other nursing students, and so I'm so grateful for Naganawini-Monanig that you guys have all of these other Indigenous nursing students to go to school with, where many of us older students, oftentimes we were the only ones. And so I just think it's an incredible opportunity for you guys to have this experience, to walk this journey with other students. Excuse me. And the other thing I wanted to say in regard to your statements is, I am fortunate, amazing students, and so many times I wish that students could see what I see. And, so giving that support and motivation and encouragement is easy because I can see the potential that you have and that you will be for Indigenous communities. So thank you for your very kind words. And yes, I recall you lost a few sticky notes off of whatever you happened to stick them on. So I'm glad you finally got the planner. That's excellent. Jackie, can you tell us about a mentor in your life and how this person has supported your education and overall goals?
My mentor, she used to be our education director back home for the Flandreau Santee Sioux tribe, and right now she's currently going back to school for, I believe it's a Dakota language teaching certificate, and she's the one that encouraged me to branch out and look at different colleges that I wanted to go to. Because if you would have known me back in junior year of high school, I would have said that I was going to the University of San Francisco, and there was no way that you were going to talk me out of it. So she actually took myself and my cousin over to California to visit colleges over there. And as soon as I got to the University of San Francisco, I knew right away that wasn't the college that I was meant to be at. It just didn't feel like home. I didn't feel like I belonged. I honestly felt like I was just a number for them, and I couldn't see moving all the way across the country and being away from my family. That would have just been way too hard. So after that experience, she helped me research a lot of nursing programs in the area. I knew I didn't want to stay in South Dakota, so we started looking in Minnesota, and that's when she actually found the Naganaway program for me. And right from the start, I said, yep, it's going to feel like home there, just watch. And so we went and took a virtual tour. I loved the campus. I loved the nursing program. I loved the faculty. And right away, I think it was about a week after that, and I came for a tour here on campus, and I just fell in love with Bemidji, the area, the campus. I feel like I'm at home, and I don't feel like a number. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be right now in my life, and I made the best decision for myself.
I agree, and I am grateful to your mentor for giving you those opportunities and experiences to look at different college campuses and for directing you to Bemidji State. You have definitely become part of the campus and immersed yourself into the university and getting involved in different student organizations, and so your leadership is very evident. So I am thankful for your mentor as well. All right, the last question we have, what words of wisdom do you have for future Native American students who might be considering nursing as a career?
So I would suggest that they find a college with a Native American or a minority services center and seek out support from other students that have similar goals as you. Become a part of the college community and seek someone that you can go to for support, that you can go to when you're feeling overwhelmed, because it's going to happen that you're going to get overwhelmed, and then they'll help you prepare for it and deal with it. So if you are isolated and you feel alone, it's going to be easy just to, fold up your clothes, pack them away, and then go back home, because your family and everybody back home is just fine if you come back home without a degree, because our relationships are based in, they're not, we're relationship-based societies as opposed to goal relationship societies. So, you went off to college, you come back home, that's okay. We love you and you're accepted for no matter what you do or don't do. So finding that support that's going to help you support, your goals, your professional goals, that's important away from home. Like, you need to find someone that's going to inspire you and say, you know what, your home's always going to be there. This is just for a short time. You can make it through this little short time, and just find someone that's going to be understanding and supportive. And usually it's other minorities or someone that has experience with minorities or Native American population. They kind of get, the struggles of not, I don't want to say white, but that's what it is to me. Like the people that aren't like me. You need to find someone that has the same interest as you and that is supportive. So otherwise you'll just go back home. So finding a community where you fit in that supports you and you can identify with is a great source of support.
Excellent. I'm glad you brought that up, Terry, because that is definitely one of the issues that our Indigenous students deal with, especially as first-generation college students, is oftentimes they don't have that support. Well, I shouldn't say oftentimes. Some students don't have that support from home to encourage them to stay in school and provide that motivation to stay there. And other students do have that support at home. So the ones that don't, what I find is anytime they have their first struggle in college, their family is saying, well, just come home then. You don't need that, just come home. So finding that connection on campus is crucial to getting that support to stay in school. And I like that you also addressed, if you are on a campus that have a large number of Indigenous students, that you connect with other minorities, because we do have those commonalities of family comes first, community comes first, and so bonding over those similarities is also important to developing that support system on a college campus that might not have as many American Indian students as you would like to see. So thank you for sharing that. Alexa, can you tell us what words of wisdom you have for future students who might be interested in nursing as a career?
I would definitely have to agree on that. Making sure that whatever campus you may choose, that you do have that support, and not only whether it be, from a minority program or even for Native Americans, just to make sure that you feel like you have all the resources that you can get and that you feel at home. That was one of the main reasons why my first year of college, I was doing really well in school, but my emotional health was not, because I was 2 hours away from home, and I just didn't have that home away from home, if that makes sense. And I just didn't feel like I was, I didn't have, other American Indian students to have that support with and to talk to. And definitely coming to Bemidji State University has made me feel much more at home, although I am way closer to home now. It definitely has helped me. And so just making sure that you can see yourself being successful there and having good resources for you. And also there are going to be times where you feel like you're not good enough or you're not smart enough, or you're going to compare yourself to other students who may have had other opportunities that you got to. It's just I can't stress this enough, is to just not give up, and you are capable and you can do it. You just have to work hard, and if you want it, you will get it. And it takes time, and some may take different paths than others, but as long as you get to where you want to be, that's what matters most.
Oh, that is awesome. The words that I picked out of there, Alexa, is to see yourself being successful. And, when you have those moments of not feeling smart, or, where you're really struggling in a course, keeping that positive attitude and always believing that you will be successful is what's going to get you through those hard times. So thank you for sharing that. Jackie, what words of wisdom do you have for future Native American students who might be considering nursing?
So if you are considering nursing, I would say to definitely go to your local clinic or hospital and just see if you can shadow a nurse, decide if that's really what you want to do. And after that, then, a virtual tour, it's not the same as going to a university and actually touring the campus, meeting faculty, meeting possible classmates, and just making that connection right off the bat. So you know people and you have connections. And so if you do ever run into a roadblock, you have a direction to go to figure it out. And then also just to echo, if you are considering a career in nursing, just not be afraid to go and talk to nursing faculty. They are going to be your best friends. Just make that connection with them right away and ask them about their journey through nursing. Because just from the conversations I've had with our nursing faculty, they've given me so much information and knowledge on the path that I want to go and how I kind of want to mirror their path as well. Yeah.
Very good. Yes, I agree. It's important for students to understand what the role of a nurse is, and if they have the opportunity to shadow or work as a nursing assistant, so they have a general idea of what nursing is all about, is an excellent start to considering nursing as a career. So I want to say miigwech again for sharing your time and experiences with us. I think the information you shared is incredibly valuable for other nursing students and also for those that are working with Indigenous nursing students and minority students in general. I think much of what you talked about is not only applicable to Indigenous communities, but also other minority populations. So at this time, we would like to open it up for questions.
As a reminder, to ask a question, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. To withdraw your question, press the pound key. Please stand by while we compile the Q&A roster. Once again, if you wish to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced.
Hi, I'll go ahead and interject here. This is Dr. Eddy. Can we go ahead and go to the next slide? Maybe as participants are thinking of questions as those are coming in. So I also want to say thank you, Ahihat, to Dr. Wilkie and her students for sharing your experiences, your stories. I think each of you serve, I think, as an inspiration to many and upcoming Native students who might be considering or interested in nursing. I think through your stories, what you share is, this can be done. So I think for a lot of students out there, Native students out there, they're considering it, but maybe at the same time contemplating, unsure. But I think through your stories, it makes it seem like it's doable. So as Dr. Quinn mentioned earlier in the webinar, so this webinar will be recorded and will be posted on the Campaign for Action website. So, and I also would like to encourage you as students, to share this as well. Who better, to, I guess, get the word out about the need for more Native nurses in our communities, whether it's reaching out to youth within your own family, out in your communities, et cetera. That, especially given the state of health in our own communities across all tribal nations, it's going to take Native nurses like you and many more after you to create healthier communities. So here on the screen are resources that we listed. So these are, for students that might be considering applying to nursing school. These are different scholarships that are available to students. There's the Indian Health Service Scholarship, the Indian College Fund, American Indian Graduate Center, the Cobell Scholarship, and then American Indian Education Fund. I know there are other scholarships out there that are available to Native American students, but I thought we shared this as well. So, okay, so it looks like there's a question that was posted from Kayla Kimberly. Is a student mentor a current student or previous student, and how many hours do they put in per week? So I'll turn it back over to Dr. Wilkie.
Thank you, Dr. Eddy. The student mentor position is a full-time 40-hour week position. Initially, when the job description came out for that position, I really wanted a baccalaureate prepared Indigenous nurse. And obviously that was very challenging to find. So then I opened up the criteria to a baccalaureate prepared in a helping field, so education, social work. I just wanted somebody that had a bachelor's degree, but also had the knowledge and experience of working with Indigenous communities. So I recognized, that this person had to have a bachelor's degree so they knew what the student was going through to obtain a degree, but more importantly that they already came in with that knowledge of, what Native students are typically like, what are their challenges that they deal with, what are their communities like. So having that Indigenous knowledge is the key for our student mentor position. So that's a little bit of background on the position and how many hours they work in a week.
Like I said, I'm hoping, and I'm going to try to make. Prince Zone, are there any questions in the queue currently?
No questions at this time. Please continue.
Thank you.
So, hi, this is Winifred Quinn, and Dr. Wilkie, are there any community organizations that you've partnered with regarding the overall support for your school and or for the mentoring model? And I ask that because The technical assistance that we are providing to different sets of minority serving schools includes a learning collaborative that we just started with some historically Black colleges and universities. And one thing that we are doing is providing technical assistance on the value of engaging community partners in their work.
Yes, so when we wrote the grant, we recognized the importance of needing to partner with our area tribal communities. So Bemidji is located within 50 miles of the 3 largest Ojibwe reservations. So we are partners with them as well as a few other Ojibwe tribes in the state of Minnesota. We have recently started collaborating or working on a collaboration with a community organization in Bemidji that serves the Indigenous community and puts on different activities and supporting of the tribal people in the Bemidji area.
Great, thank you.
So, Dr. Wilkie, I have a question regarding the weekly tutoring sessions. So, are the tutors? So, is this like a set schedule that the students attend, and is it required? And then, is this separate from the mentor? So, I'm kind of wondering, who this tutor is as well.
So, we use student tutors. Within Naganawini-Monanig, we employ a student that is either a junior or a senior and has the experience of those courses, so they can provide guidance and how to best study for those exams. There aren't set schedules. The student tries to work with their own course schedule and work schedule along with the students that need tutoring. So, it doesn't always work out that they're available at the same time. But the nursing department also employs student tutors. And so generally between the nursing department and Naganawini-Mononig's tutors, there is some availability there. And then for the liberal ed courses, the university has several tutoring options as well. And as for the requirement, if a student is at a C+ or less, they are required to go to tutoring. So, I really want students to be in a position academically where at the end of the semester, they're comfortable. They're not feeling like they're drowning and they have to 98% on the final exam in order to pass the class. So we keep tabs on their grades. That's part of the student mentor's job, is to check in and see how they're doing academically, see what their average exam score is, and get them to tutoring so they can be in a comfortable position academically.
Thank you. I have one more question. So in regards to admission, so here at Northern Arizona University, one of our requirements is the Kaplan entrance exam. And I think that's an area that probably presents, I think, a huge challenge for a lot of our Native students to get into the program. Do you require that? And if so, how does your program work with students to prepare for the entrance exam?
We, as part of the HRSA Nursing Workforce Diversity Grant, we were required to implement a holistic admission review process. So we look at multiple areas of the student. They are scored on their metrics. So we look at their GPA, and our entrance exam was HESI, and now we're switching to ATI. So that accounts for 35% of their admission score. We also look at their experience and attributes, so their resume, what kind of experience do they have caring for others, reference letters addressing some of our core competencies that are important to our department. So those pieces, along with an essay, account for 35% of the total score. And then the last 30% is multiple mini interviews. So students meet one-on-one with the faculty. They're asked one question, and this is their opportunity to address some of the things that aren't on the application, as well as, to really let their personality shine, and some of those experiences that show that they might not be the strongest academically, but they have a lot of life experience that will contribute to their success in the nursing program. So, this process was implemented for the sole purpose of diversifying our classrooms and our cohorts, and we have absolutely seen that. This is our second year with full implementation, and we have much more diversity as far as Indigenous students, male students, Black students, Hispanic students. So we've definitely seen the benefit of this process versus just looking at, the metrics piece, which is a great disadvantage for our Indigenous students.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. So Dr. Quinn, do we want to wrap up? Do you want to wrap up?
Dr. Eddy, Wayne had to step out, so are you good with closing us out? We can transition to the last slide.
Okay, so here are the web resources. So this is where you will find the recorded webinar too, right, Scott?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So if there are not any more questions, I just want to say thank you for each of you participating in our webinar, and especially to Dr. Wilkie and her students taking time out. And I'm sure it's end of the semester, it's busy, it's intense for you, but nonetheless, thank you for making time out to join us and share your experience and, I think, valuable knowledge for future students. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call. Thanks for participating. We may now disconnect.